Welcome to the Explainer. Have you ever spent a full day, literally an entire work day, just trying to configure Webpack before you've written even a single line of actual code? Yeah, if you have, you are absolutely not alone. Today we're focusing on a profound antidote to that massive cognitive load in large-scale web development, Ember.js. We're going to see exactly how this framework uses strict conventions to help your team build really ambitious applications without losing your minds to configuration fatigue. So let's dive right in.
Here is our super quick roadmap for today. 1. The Ember.js philosophy. 2. Features for large apps. 3. The convention workflow. And 4. We'll hit some common questions.
All right, section 1, the Ember.js philosophy, and really why conventions matter so much.
Look, scaling is hard, period. And endless configuration completely drains developer energy. As your applications grow, the sheer volume of architectural choices drastically increases your cognitive load. Think about it. Every single minute you spend debating folder structures or build tools or routing logic, well, that's a minute you aren't spending solving actual business problems, right? This is the exact friction Ember was built to completely eliminate.
The crucial concept here is convention over configuration. This is a framework, paradigm that provides sensible defaults for standard tasks. It minimizes decisions so you can just focus on your unique application features. Honestly, this is the beating heart of Ember. By establishing a standard, agreed-upon way of doing things, it fundamentally protects your mental bandwidth. Actually, let's contrast this. Think about the old way of doing things. It's full of endless configuration decisions, repetitive boilerplate code, and incredibly high cognitive load. The Ember way strips all of that away. It gives you sensible defaults and a highly predictable structure. I mean, imagine how much faster you can onboard a new team member when they don't have to learn your team's weird, bespoke architecture. They just learn the Ember way, and they're good to go. Moving right along to section 2. Let's take a look at the features for large-scale apps, the actual toolkit.
Ember equips us with 5 core features designed specifically to shoulder the burden of large-scale architecture. We've got the Ember CLI, the router, Ember Data, components, and add-ons. Let's spotlight the most crucial ones right now.
First up, the Ember CLI is an absolute powerhouse. This command line interface is your central command center. It automates tedious tasks, standardizes your directory structure, and seamlessly handles building, testing, and deployment. With just a single line in your terminal, its generators can scaffold new components, routes, and models. It literally wipes out boilerplate code entirely.
Next is the router. Now, in a large app, state management is a notorious headache, right? But the router handles the heavy lifting of mapping URLs, enabling deep linking, supporting nested routes, and managing all that complex application state. It even handles asynchronous data fetching natively. It knows exactly what data needs to be loaded before a UI is rendered, which keeps your apps feeling incredibly responsive.
Then we have Ember Data. Talk about a massive time saver. It's a robust data management library that provides a super consistent way to interact with backend APIs. Instead of writing custom fetch requests and caching logic for every single endpoint, Ember Data handles all the complex realities of synchronization for you. It's kind of like having a dedicated translator for your backend, letting you treat remote data almost as if it were local.
And rounding out the toolkit, we have components and add-ons. Ember components are reusable, encapsulated UI elements that give you a really clean separation of concerns. This is absolutely perfect for maintaining modular architecture. And if you need more power, well, the add-on ecosystem is vast. Because of Ember's strict conventions, these add-ons just drop right into your project and extend your functionality immediately. No hair-pulling configuration required.
Okay, section 3. The convention-driven workflow, from setup straight through to deployment.
Picture your day-to-day as a developer using this. Step 1. Project initialization. One command gets you a perfect standardized directory. Step 2. Code generation. You're spinning up new features instantly with the CLI. Step 3 is automated testing. And finally, Step 4. Deployment to staging or production. The momentum just builds constantly because the framework guides you through established best practices at every single step.
I want to pause on that testing phase for a second, because this is huge. Ember features built-in support for unit, integration, and acceptance tests. It doesn't just, politely suggest testing. It explicitly pushes you toward a reliable, test-driven development approach. The infrastructure is built into the workflow from day one. Your scaffolding commands even generate the test files for you automatically. How great is that? Finally, section 4. Let's validate the framework and hit some common questions. Question 1. Everyone asks this.
Can I use Ember.js for smaller projects? It's a totally fair, highly practical question. If it's so great for massive apps, is it overkill for a quick weekend project?
The short answer, yes. But honestly, it might be overkill. Its robust feature set is heavily optimized for large-scale, ambitious applications. Ember is engineered to be a heavy lifter. So if you're building a very simple, lightweight weekend project, a smaller framework might actually suit you better. Ember's true power unlocks when the complexity scales up.
Okay, question 2. How does Ember.js ensure code consistency across projects? If you're managing a large team or bouncing between multiple projects, maintaining a uniform code base is a massive priority.
The answer is that it enforces consistency structurally. Because of that convention over configuration paradigm, the standardized project structures, and those built-in code generation tools we talked about, developers just don't invent their own ways of doing things. This is exactly where the ease of onboarding really shines. A new dev can jump right in, predicting exactly where every single route, component, and test lives in the directory.
And our final, rapid-fire question, super vital for any tech lead considering a long-term architectural commitment. Is Ember.js still actively maintained and updated?
The answer is a resounding yes. Ember is actively maintained by a highly dedicated community and a core team. It receives regular, modern updates that absolutely keep pace with the broader JavaScript ecosystem. When you choose Ember, you're choosing a framework that remains highly relevant and deeply, deeply supported.
All of this really boils down to one simple mandate. Focus on what truly matters, which is building exceptional user experiences. By eliminating the endless debates over configuration and architecture, Ember fundamentally frees your team up to build better software. You actually get to spend your time innovating for your users, not fighting with your build tools.
So I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought. How much faster could your team ship if you completely eliminated decision fatigue from your application architecture? Seriously, challenge yourself to rethink your current development workflows. Think about the friction you face every single day and consider if Ember's conventions might just be the key to unlocking your team's true velocity. Thanks for joining me on this explainer and keep learning.